Hi, ladies. I've been sitting in on this pillars, listening to your stories and all that. And I mean, I was sitting right where you guys are at first, and listening to your stories. I mean, I was where most of you are, you were sharing, you were crying, and so when I took the pillars workshop, it was wonderful. Like I got a lot out of it. But for me, it was like having a lollipop, taking one lick of it, and then you couldn't have any more. You know what I mean? It wasn't enough for me. I wanted the whole lollipop. And so I did join the Legacy Builders. It has been the best thing that I could have ever done. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story. I am a health coach, but before that, my husband and I had businesses, and I know one of you were talking about having a business, and you're worried if it was going to fail. Well, I've had 3 businesses fail. My husband and we had businesses fail, 3 of them for all different reasons. I know I've heard some of you talk about spending the money as fast as it comes in. That's me. I mean, I couldn't figure out why I would get money in and I would spend it before it even hit my bank account. It'd be gone. And I am a giver. I love giving. I love it. But I was giving way, way, way too much. All my credit cards, I've done, I had all this credit card debt. I would take loans out to pay them off and then rack them back up again and take out another loan. So I know where you guys are at. Seriously, I know where you're at. And I didn't know why I did that. I didn't know. And I didn't know anything about money root issues. And when I seen Charissa, I seen one of her videos pop up and I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I need to learn what God says about the Bible. I am a Christian. I haven't really been deep into the Bible though. And so when I thought that's what I need, that's what I'm missing. Maybe I need to get what God is speaking about money. Because, growing up, my mom always did the bills. Um, I learned from her I didn't learn much, but what I learned from her is she used credit cards to buy Christmas and then she paid them all year long. And anyways, so my mom didn't work. My dad was the only one that brought in money. So that was kind of where I was at too. Well, anyways, I just had to figure out what God's will was for me because I don't want to be out of his will. I was feeling like defeated. I felt like all these people around me were doing all these great businesses. They were flourishing. Even people that are so selfish and they have all these things, they have all this money coming in, they have all this business. And I'm like, why? It had to be something that I had done. And so I thought I need to find out what God's saying. So anyways, I came on with Charissa and Pillars. And like I said, it wasn't enough. So I signed up for the Legacy Builders and she started tapping into some of my feelings and all that. And I thought in my mind, one of my money blocks was I didn't realize, I know God forgives us, but I guess I never really realized God has forgiven me for all my money mistakes. And thank you, Jesus. He is a God of second chances and third chances. I mean, seriously, because I've done it more than 2 or 3 times. In fact, I'm digging myself back out of it now again. So I see some of you shaking your head. Seriously, it is like, I feel you. So, anyways, when I started this, I mean, it seemed like so much information, and I felt God was really speaking to me. And right away, though, I started getting more clients and I started getting into the Bible more. And so number one, it did bring me closer to God because I was really in tune and I was really reading the things and had my Bible out when Charissa was reading different scriptures and all that. And I'm highlighting and I'm taking notes. And but seriously, as soon as I got into God's word about it and what he really spoke about money, and I started changing my mindset, even just a little bit, like Carissa says, that 3%. even a 1% shift makes such a huge difference. That first month, my bonus tripled. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, God is really listening to me. He really has forgiven me. I had to finally work on forgiving myself, which, we all need renewing of the mind all the time. We always have to keep renewing our mind because the enemy keeps attacking, and bringing us back down. But my bonus was triple the amount. I paid off $6,000 worth of debt in a short period of time. I mean, I have like $30,000 or $40,000 on credit cards, ladies. Seriously, plus these other loans that I'd already taken out to pay them off earlier. So I'm still, like I said, digging on out, but I'm coming out of the hole, So, but I was able to do that. I kind of took some notes because I didn't want to forget to tell you anything. But so then as we're working through all this and all these great things are happening, and then I realized I had another money block. And this other money block, and I heard Charissa talk about it the other day, was so my first husband, we had a business and it flourished. We were bringing in all kinds of money. And I was able to just go spend whenever I wanted to spend and pay off credit cards, whatever, whenever I wanted to. But if I spent any money, like I would give to somebody on the corner, I'm a giver. So I would give money to somebody on this side of the street, and give them money or whatever. And my kids would be like, Mom, that is the coolest thing ever, But they'd get home and tell their dad, and he would, yell and scream at me because that was his hard-earned money, right? His sweat and blood. And he was the greediest man I've ever known. And I think working through with Charissa, really doing the one-on-one coaching through the Legacy Builder, it has really made me see. I think my major fear was I was afraid I was going to be like him. I never, 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 never want to be greedy. I want to always give more than I ever want to receive. And so I was so afraid I was going to be that greedy person like my ex-husband. And he's just such a ugly man inside and out. And it just breaks my heart. But so going through with Charissa and her doing the one-on-one stuff with me, I'm not going to be that person. I know I'm not. And so working with Charissa has just been, I have shared so much with our group. Charissa is the most graceful. This is a safe place. Like, I shared some things that I haven't even shared with my best friends in this group. I've cried. We've all cried. I think all of us cried, didn't we, Charissa? At one time or another. Yeah. But seriously, she has this gift that God has given her to speak into us. And I'm telling you, she has this empathy for people. When you're sitting there crying, she truly, truly, genuinely cares about each and every one of us. She wants us all to succeed. And she will, whenever I was just talking about things, she would sometimes, like I heard her say to somebody the other day, and she said it to one of the people that was in my class was, sometimes she may say something that might sting a little, but it makes you stop and think like, well, wait a minute. Maybe that's true. And that's, I think we need to hear. I mean, she does it with love, just like Jesus did, he just had to still share the truth, but he did it with love, and she does the same thing. So, and I found that I didn't realize that God wanted to partner with me. I didn't realize that serving was selling. I struggled with selling. I felt icky about it. And I felt icky about asking for referrals. I have gotten so bold with asking for referrals now. I just signed up. This is another God thing. I'm telling you, the wins are just amazing when you get into this and you start breaking through all these. So the other day, it was end of month, and we were like really striving for all of these things. I was really working towards all of these, what's the word am I looking for? Incentives. So there was all these different, oh my gosh. And I didn't even tell you this. I qualified for an incentive trip in April. My husband and I are going to the Caribbean for 7 days. So that was all during this time, right?
Happened within the first month?
Yes. And anyway, so end of month. So, and then I'll get off because I know you guys have a lot of wins to share. But anyway, so the other day, we get these leads once in a great while, not very often. I mean, you're lucky to get one a month, right? And I needed several people to still to sign up, and because I was trying to reach these certain goals. And within 5 minutes, the Lord blessed me with 2 leads. That never happens. That never happens. So I got 2 leads. I mean, I worked until 9:30, 10 o'clock that night, and I busted my tail. But I'm telling you, I did every incentive I qualified for. So I won, I qualified for the 2 different sweatshirts that I didn't qualify the last month, but I got it this month. I got the new sweatshirt. I got the gold earrings. I'm trying to think of what else there was. There was, oh, and now my bonus this next month should be like $3,500. So that is way more than I've ever done. So I didn't have the money to do the legacy builder. I didn't. I was worried. I was scared. But when Charissa offered the payment plan, I'm like, oh, well, wait a minute, maybe I could do the payment plan. And then when she's like, well, you know, if you don't get anything out of it, I'll refund your money. And I'm like, well, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose, honestly? And I'm telling you, I have gotten so much out of this. And I get to still come in and like listen over and over and over again. Like I got to listen to your pillars. So I'm renewing my mind, and I can renew my mind at any time with this legacy builder. And I'm telling you, it was an investment well worth it. And I just want to say, ladies, you guys, God is on your side. He loves you. He wants you to win. He wants to partner with you to serve others. And you guys are going to do great things. But I'm telling you, Charissa is the way to go. And that's all I got to say. Seriously, you're amazing. And I love you, Charissa. You are just truly like, I consider you my friend. I mean, I've shared some crazy things with you, and it is real for real.